Welcome to Nitpicking Nerds. Today, we're doing a competitive deck tech for our patron, Patrick Gilbert. Who's the commander, you ask? Why, it's Sen Triplets.
One triplet for each opponent, and guess what? We're going to be the Archenemy, a.k.a. that guy.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
And I'm your host, Beezy, and that makes us the Nitpicking Nerds. Do you like artifact triplet women who control your mind? If you do, you are obligated to subscribe.
And besides, you want to be subscribed to this channel because our subscribers are 10% less likely to be targeted by Emrakul.
Disclaimer guy here. Emrakul's got a mind of her own, and we really can't control what she does. So if you get controlled by her, that's on you.
Uh-oh. Emrakul again.
Oh.
Well, we better figure out what this deck is supposed to be. And we have a quote from our patron Patrick that describes exactly what this deck is, and I'm going to read it. I want a deck that ramps as fast as possible and that completely locks my opponents and doesn't let them play. I want to be able to steal all their things and have the answers to everyone's problems. I think it's so funny to have everyone targeting me at the table, and I just really enjoy being that guy.
So the whole goal of this deck is to be the guy that everyone hates at the table and to be essentially the arch enemy.
This deck is very competitive. We just want all the hate, and we can dish it out. We can take it. It's just our opponents' decks are nothing compared to what we're about to do to them.
So let's read Sen Triplets and see what we're getting ourselves into.
Yeah, so it's a 2 and an Esper for a 3/3 legendary artifact. Creature, human, wizard. No other room in the type line. 4 creature types. At your upkeep, someone reveals their hand to you. You can cast stuff and play stuff from their hand, and they can't cast spells or activate abilities. That's the gist of it. No fun for them, max fun for you. Like a 10 for 1 whenever you even play a spell, it's just going to completely make people miserable and cast their spells for them, but against them.
Yeah, this is a rough one because if you get to untap with it, your opponents are certainly not going to have fun.
And this deck is actually really good at doing that because it's not a fun deck and it's really competitive.
So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ramp. We're going to ramp out of control to the moon and get our girls. I want to say
we're like turn 3, we want to have them and be able to protect them. This deck definitely needs ramp, as Patrick said. So the first things, Azorius, Orozhav, Dimir, and Arcane Signets. Base level, totally fair, rock solid rocks that are solid.
Yeah, I mean that's a good way to put them. Another 2-mana rock we have is Thought Vessel, which is it's taps for 1 generic mana at 2 mana, but it also gives you no max hand size. So if you're drawing with all those cards from your opponent's hand, like say they had a Consecrated Sphinx and you played that, and now you're going out of control, we don't have to discard any of those cards.
Nuh-uh. And okay, I was lying. Those were the softies because this deck also has Mana Crypt, Soul Ring, Mana Vault, Mox Diamond, Mox Opal. Are those cards good? They're like $500 combined if you just want to buy these 5.
Every single one of those cards is very good.
Off the charts, amazing. We're playing all of them. We are going to ramp. We're going to probably have turn 1 something Signet like half the time.
Where are we going? We're going to the moon with this deck.
And we also have Gilded Lotus. And importantly, all of these colored rocks, like Gilded Lotus and Mox Diamond and Mox Opal, they make mana of any color, which means with Sen Triplets, we get to cast their spells more easily because Sen Triplets does not do the heavy lifting for us like Gonti does.
Yeah. If this card was printed nowadays, it would do the heavy lifting, but it doesn't. So tapping our Gilded Lotus for triple green, when you're casting that triple green spell, like let's just say they have a Kogla in their hand. I don't know. We want to cast their Kogla. So
do we?
I do. Okay. I do want to cast.
Okay, we
Kogla.
do want to cast Kogla. The next, we did the ramp. Now we have, as I like to say, the lockout.
Yeah.
We're going to lock them out of the game. They don't get to play. We're going to do all the playing.
And the only way it could ever get in is with like a Goblin Locksmith,
or a Key to the City.
I love Goblin Locksmith though. he can't do it, so he breaks the window.
He breaks the window and turns the handle from the other side.
Absolutely awesome.
Aura of Silence. Your stuff costs more to play, and if you try to destroy this enchantment, I'm going to mess up your best thing. Blind Obedience. Artifacts and creatures, tapped. You're going to have to wait a whole turn. And I'm going to drain you and make you write down and keep track of the life totals. The Extort is just gravy. Where's the gravy boat?
Oh, we haven't done gravy in a while. Yeah.
The Extort is just gravy for misery. They just have to keep track of how slowly they're losing to you.
It's really funny because we say the Extort is gravy, but on this card, if this card didn't have Extort, this card is booty butts.
It's worse.
I mean,
the Extort pushes it way past like Thalia.
Yeah, I mean, how many versions of that card exist? There's a ton.
There's plenty. Authority of the Consoles is a good one.
Yeah,
that even gains life, but it's not Extort.
Yeah, it's not Extort. Extort turns out Extort is actually just an extremely strong ability in this format.
And turns out I played you guys again because I put the softies first. What are the actual like monster cards?
Well, how about Back to Basics, which has non-basic lands? They just don't untap. Any 3, 4, or 5 color deck is absolutely going to get completely hosed by this.
So crippled by this one card. We don't even have basics, barely, and we don't even care. All of our ramp, like we said, is in the rocks. We have plenty of rocks. There's like 20.
Oh, it's so stupid. And Winter Orb is also an extremely good one. Lands don't untap during the controller's untap step, except one. We'll let one untap to be nice.
And also, there is Urza in this deck, which means we can go end step, boop, I'll tap my Winter Orb so I don't have to be involved in that. It's just completely one-sided.
Winter Orb is under the old...
artifacts back then didn't work if they were tapped.
Yeah, like Howling Mind, which just doesn't work if it's tapped. That's so weird.
Super weird. Okay, we were just kidding, guys. These are the real ones. These are the real Stax pieces. We have Sunder, which is bounce all lands. Goodbye. Nice lands. They're gone. Forget about untapping. You got to replay them all.
Yeah, this card's going to make everyone have to go to discard, but we know we're going to have out
Artifact ramps.
Thought Vessel. So we're just not going to have to discard.
We're also just, once we bounce their lands, we can just play their best ones.
Oh, that's true.
If we end step Sunder, now we get to play the best land that we bounce back.
This deck is absolutely 100%
It's not even
just a
fair.
bully.
It's just such a bully deck. They're going to have no choice but to team up against you.
All right, what does Overburden do?
Overburden is 1 in a blue enchantment. Whenever a player has a non-token creature enter the battlefield, they bounce a land. It's not a May. There's no choice. You just bounce a land. Your choice is don't play Magic.
Your choice is don't play a creature, and then if you don't play a creature, you're not doing anything.
Yeah, you're not progressing. You can't attack me. I'm the archenemy. What are you going to do?
This is like, it's such a mean card. I've played against it once or twice. It's just not fun to play against. This deck is not fun to play against.
There are a couple War of the Spark Planeswalkers that come to mind, and we're about to read 2 of them. They're not fun. Teferi Time Raveler, one of the most problematic and amazing Magic cards to ever exist. 1 blue, white for a 4 loyalty Teferi, +1, sorceries have flash, -3, bounce a thing, draw a card. But the static is your opponents don't get to play at instant speed. That sucks for them.
Yeah, and I don't think it can be overstated how good this card is. I think it's even an insane card in EH.
It just protects combos, stops end of turn interaction. It just stops everything. It stops Magic.
It stops everything. It is
Stop Teferi, don't stop Magic.
This card is an absolutely insane powerhouse. It comes out and also replaces itself immediately at the worst.
Doesn't even die. Why does this card not die when it -3s? Why does it start at 4?
Because they pushed this one to the moon and now we have issues. So what's the other 3-mana Planeswalker you were thinking
Well,
of?
it's Ashiok. Costs 3 mana, 2 Dimir hybrids in 1, and it starts at 5, and you can -1 to mill someone for 4, and then exile all of the opponent's graveyards, not even yours. And the static is they can't search libraries with their own effects.
Oh my god, this card is really good in EDH. Turns out there's a lot of tutoring in a 100 card singleton. You want to be going through your deck because you want to find specific pieces.
Guys, there's an archenemy. We got to find. We can't find anything. We have to draw it naturally.
Yeah,
that's going to make things difficult.
But we're going to make it even harder.
And we're not even done with War Planeswalkers, but we'll give you a break for now. Who's next?
We got Grand Arbiter Augustin IV, who makes your spells cost 1 less and makes their spells cost 1 more. What a jerk.
Do we need to explain why that is completely butt? That's so miserable to play.
Did you say?
It's completely butt.
It's completely butt. I thought you were going to say something else. But also, little note, when you're casting their spells, it's your spell you're casting, even though it's...
You cast, not them.
Even though it's their spell. We got them. We
got them. Next up, it's Padim, Consul of Allocation, who is secretly miserable only in this deck because half of our Stax pieces, annoying crap mana rocks are artifacts. And she gives artifacts hexproof. And she demands to be impressed, but the opponents can never do it, so they lose.
Impress me.
Padim's creature type is Gull. I forgot to mention.
Yeah, she also has 6 fingers, and she's very, very much not polite.
No, she is rude. I don't know what I was going to say. It didn't start out as rude. That was like a scene out of Liar Liar.
Okay, and the next one is the theft. We're stealing stuff. So
Patrick wants to steal things. It is part of his misery design.
Misery.deck.
Misery.deck.
So starting at Misery.deck, the first one is Gilded Drake, which is $150 for a 2-mana 3/3 flyer that exchanges control with an opponent's creature. So you play this 3/3. You exchange control of it with, I don't know, let's say Vorinclex because we're awesome.
Sure, whatever.
Why not?
Let's just add a Stax piece to it. We gain control of a Stax piece, Vorinclex. Also, just steal their commander, and now you say, do you want to beat your own commander? Because otherwise you don't get to play with it.
Yeah, it's not
for 2 mana.
It's not a very nice card.
You can bounce it with Teferi. Let's have more fun.
I cannot believe that this card is $150. That's crazy.
Yeah, that spike kind of shocked you.
It really took me off. Like, I knew it was money. I knew this card was very expensive for...
It was 30, 40, 50, but someone up in the big leagues was like, let's triple it.
This card's insane. I'm pretty sure it's on the reserve list. I don't know if it is.
It might be.
It might be.
It's from that time period. Hostage Taker is our next softie, as it were. Got to start out with the softies. 4 mana, 2/3, exile an artifact creature. You can cast it if you pay its mana cost, but the mana can be rainbow.
Yeah. And the only thing we got to watch out for here is that we're taking... What is it called?
Their commanders?
Yeah, if we're taking their commanders, I don't know why I couldn't think of the word commander. We're talking about EDH.
No, we're talking about some other game. It's not Magic.
Well, yeah, if you target their commander, they'll just choose to put it to the command zone. They will never put it under hostage taker.
But it still says 4 mana, put a commander into the command zone.
Yeah, perfectly reasonable card. Nothing wrong with that.
All right, but this guys, that wasn't real. These are the real ones. These are the real theft cards.
Yeah, Bribery, absolutely an insane card. 3 blue for a sorcery. You search target opponent's library for any creature, and you put that creature onto the battlefield. This card's insane.
I don't like this Magic card. This is not a fun Magic card.
I remember, I know that doesn't fit in your character deck now, but I remember back in the day, BZ had Archangel Avacyn in his.
Back years ago, I was like, Avacyn's so cool, put it in my deck, and then I took it out because he kept bribering it.
It turned from BZ's best card in his deck to my best card in my deck.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to. That's stupid. And then he was even like, oh, you already have Avacyn in your hand. I'll take Ashen Rider and exile one of your lands. It's so stupid. It's just not even fun. You don't even have to try or build your deck or make any sort of restriction. You just get their 8-drop.
Yeah, Bribery is a completely mean card. What's the next one?
Well, these cards are okay. That was just a joke, guys. These are the real theft cards. Blatant Thievery, 7 mana sorcery. Take one of their permanents permanently for each opponent.
This card's sort of fair. I don't actually hate this one because
it's as close to fair as we're getting. This is probably the fairest card in the deck.
It also scales with the game. It scales with the number of opponents. I mean, not with the game. The number of, if you have 16 opponents, you get 16 cards. It's pretty cool. I don't know why you would have 16 opponents.
You know what card scales with the game? Expropriate, because it says win the game, which always scales with any game. It's Blatant Thievery plus Time Walk. It's a modal spell. The first mode is that, and the second mode is you win. If you make a mistake or you don't know how this card works, it's on screen. You will lose to it if you don't give them an extra permanent.
Yeah, we're choosing time, and they're almost always going to choose money.
They have to choose money.
But if they choose time, 2 extra turns, take 2 permanents is absolutely backbreaking.
Game over.
Yeah. What if we want to be really, really mean?
That was just Bush League, guys. That wasn't even the real theft stuff, guys. We got Mindslaver. We don't have to take their stuff to play it. We're going to take control of their turn for 6 mana, crack it for 4 mana. Take control of their turn. They don't get another one. No do-overs. Don't pass go. Don't collect any money. We're going to draw a bunch of cards, discard down to 7 lands, use your own infinite combos to kill everyone except ourselves, or just sacrifice all your creatures, tap your lands, just mess you up.
Mindslaver is not a nice Magic card at all. And
what's worse, though? What if we kept doing it?
Well, if we wanted to keep doing it, we could play Academy Ruins, which is a land that taps for a colorless, or you can pay 1 in the blue, tap it to put an artifact from your graveyard on top of your library.
Like Mindslaver.
And also, remember with Mindslaver, unlike the card we're about to talk about, they don't get an extra turn. Their turn's gone. You're taking that turn.
It's so bad. It's like the Uno skip, because player 1 gets a turn, 2 gets a turn, 4 gets a turn, 1 gets a turn, 2 gets a turn, and now 3 is stuck so far behind playing catch up with no resources because they all just got dumpstered.
Now, I want to take players' turns, but I want to do it a different way. Can you tell me how?
Well, for the low cost of not 13 mana, you can play Emrakul the Promised End, which we have read so many times that we don't really need to go over it. When you cast it, you control their turn. That's basically it. They get another one for old time's sake. But they're probably so unbelievably dead during the first turn that it doesn't matter. You can have 5 turns after. You're probably just dead.
Emrakul is absolutely an insanely strong Magic card. Again, but both of these effects, if they have any way to pay lives in increments of 1.
Or anything in their deck that does that, plus a tutor.
Yeah, I mean, if they have Necropotence on the field, they're dead. They literally die. There's nothing they can do.
If they have Demonic Tutor in their hand and Necropotence in their deck, they lose the game. Fire Covenant, they lose. Toxic Deluge, they lose. These are all amazing cards. They are dead.
Yeah, that's why we got to make the starting life total 20 so those cards aren't as insane.
Yeah, or 30.
So now we're moving on. We're in the winning the game.
Surprisingly, none of that wins the game. This is how we're actually going to win, guys.
I mean, a lot of that wins the game.
They're going to concede because they can't take you on. We are such a good archenemy that these cards, this is like a backup plan.
Yeah.
Misery is plan A. These are plan B and C.
Yeah, this is a way to actually this says, when you do this, you're going to win the game. So first one is a 3-card combo, 3 artifacts. We're in an artifact deck, so why not do the 3 artifact combo? We have Sensei's Divining Top, Nitpicking Nerd's Hall of Fame, Aetherflux Reservoir, which can shoot players for 50, pew pew, if you have paying 50 life, of course. The only way to activate the only way to activate the cannon is to put your life force in it.
I guess.
Yeah.
And then Bolas' Citadel, which we will read. It's 3 black for an artifact. You can look at the top card of your library anytime. You can cast it for free, but you got to pay life equal to its mana cost. And then you can tap it and sacrifice a million things. Each opponent loses 10 life. That's fine. But the real combo is you're going to keep playing top over and over and over because you're going to play it for 1 life, gain more than 1 life with Reservoir, tap the top, draw a card, put the top back, play it. You're not only drawing your whole deck, but you're going to get pseudo infinite storm, more than enough damage to bazooka people out of the game, and it's going to be game over. We have plenty of tutors. We can assemble this very easily. This is our go-to, what we're digging towards when we lock the game out and become the archenemy.
Yeah, and we have ways to tutor up this stuff. I mean, this deck knows what it's doing. It knows what it wants to do, and it's
It's cruel.
absolutely
This
mean.
is a cruel, competitive archenemy deck. We've been very upfront that we are that guy.
Yeah, this is Cruel Entertainment without the card Cruel Entertainment.
It's just the description, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more way to pseudo win the game now.
We have Never Set Part of Revel.
There she is. There's the other war planeswalker.
Yeah, the only thing that's really too important on her that we care about is her static ability, which says if an opponent would draw a card besides the first one they draw each turn,
No.
then no,
No.
absolutely not. Notion Thief says if it's not their draw step, if it's not their first draw for their draw step, then we draw that card. That's our
And they
card.
don't.
And they don't.
So
how
what
do
can we pair that with?
We'll pair it with Windfall, which makes each player discard their hand and draw equal to the highest amount discarded that way. Wait a minute. If everyone discards 7, let's just say it's your turn.
Okay.
Because this is a sorcery.
Sure.
And we didn't have to fairy. So we cast Windfall. There's 7 cards in the biggest player's hand. Everyone discards. We draw. We draw 7.
28?
25. We draw 25, and they each draw 1.
Why do we draw 25 and not 28?
Oh, because it was. Oh no! Wait, yeah.
It just has to be.
Oh, it's 28. Yeah, we draw 28. I did
And they
math.
get a combined 0.
Which is unreal numbers, and there is no way that that's not killing somebody.
That not killing somebody. The game is over.
The game over.
ends. Not only does Windfall do that, but there is also the wombo combo of Sunder into Windfall. Bounce all lands, and then everyone discards their hand.
Wow, that's certainly is something you can do.
I think that's about game over if that ever happens. Yikes.
Yikes! Yeah, this deck is absolutely a bully deck. You're gonna be the arch enemy at
Don't
the
play
table.
this in casual. This is for Patrick and maybe 10 of you out there.
Don't-
Or those who are just like, what's the meanest deck that Sen Triplets can play? Well, it's probably this.
Yeah, don't.
Meanest Sen Triplets deck on the internet, guarantee.
We don't advise pub stomping, but if you're a pub stomper, this is a pub stomping deck.
You better subscribe.
I mean,
Woo.
I'm not telling you to pub stomp.
No, please don't.
But if somebody is pub stomping, I'm not advocating for it. But if you're gonna do it,
I will actually advocate against it.
Do it with this deck. I will advocate against it too. But if you're gonna do it, use our awesome deck.
Tell them the Nitpicking Nerd sent you. Okay,
right.
that's the deck. Who can they shout out to if they want to?
They're not going to shout out to
Look at-
anybody.
shout out-
But
I
I'm
don't
going to give a shout out to all of our patrons. We love you guys all as much as we can without making you guys uncomfortable. You guys are absolutely awesome. We love you all. You guys are great. Super secret special shout outs to 2 of our patrons, Patrick Gilbert, Esper Ragnarok. You 2 are great, and I want to give you both hugs.
Great. Think of this channel like a guitar player on the side of the street. Would you tip a guitar player on the side of the street? If so, you have to tip us because there's a tip jar we're directing you to in the description. It's called buymeacoffee.com. So freaking do it. Unless, of course, you wouldn't tip a homeless man. Now, moving on, we also have our TCG player link. It's an affiliate link in the description. If you like Magic the Gathering, you have to go buy cards on the link, which will then support the channel. These aren't optional.
So you can do any of those to support us, or
They're optional.
maybe
I lied.
They are all optional. If you would like to support us, you can support us in any way. Watching the video is good enough. Maybe you could share it somewhere, get it out to your friends. The bigger we get, the more we get to more videos we get to make. Honestly,
We're
that's
shooting for
the truth.
10K.
We are shooting for 10K. We're going to get there. Hopefully, our goal I said at the beginning of the year was the end of the year, but maybe that might not happen.
We'll see.
It's a hard. I'm not saying it was an easy goal. I set the bar hard for us because I wanted to make it hard. But say you can't get enough Nitpicking Nerds. Well, every Monday through Friday from 12 Eastern Standard Time to 4 Eastern Standard Time, why don't you head over to Twitch? There's a link in the description that you can take and go there, and you can watch me play some Mycoria drafts.
And sometimes me.
And sometimes Beezy. And oh my God, I have been having some rough luck. I have not got past 4 wins in the past 2 days.
But if you watch him on stream, he will.
Yeah. No, not if my friend who goes by the nickname Weeds watches me. Every time he's in chat, I can't win a game of Magic.
What if he was just in chat every time?
Whenever he checks in, like I was 3-0 to start the day.
Yeah.
He checked in the chat, 0-3 with that deck right out.
Yeah, we love our supporters and our friends. We gotta do a tidbit, and the tidbit for today is that people from Europe find Joe attractive.
Oh yeah, I said that earlier. Yeah, I've had luck with European guys. I am gay.
But actually, no luck in terms of meeting up with them.
No,
Just in terms of what they think of you.
no, I have met up with a few European guys.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that. That was a tidbit for me too.
yeah. I have talked to. I've never done anything sexual. I'm a good boy. Peace out, Trap Scout.